All right, guys, welcome back to Relegation Battle. It's been a while, but we're back with the predictions for the Premier League 2022-23 season. I'm joined by Ty and Tom today. Thank you guys for joining me. Well, let's get straight into it. Tom, I'll come to you first. Start off with the relegation sides. Fulham's the one I want to start with. They've been in a situation before where, a bit like Norwich, they come up, go back down, come up, go back down. What makes you think that they just haven't done enough this season to stay up?
Do you know what it is? Obviously, there's still time when recording this left. I actually think they've done some really good business with bringing in João Palhinha and some other good signings. But I just look at their defence, and the only centre backs I believe they've got is Adebayo and Tim Ream. Now, the signings that they have made have been good, but they're going to need like at least probably another 3-4 good more signings. So as of now, that's the reason why I'm putting Fulham in. They could stay up, but especially going off of like the past where Mitrovic smashes the Championship, which is one of their main assets, and then he comes to the Premier League, doesn't really do much at all. So he really needs to show that, okay, I'm going to prove that I'm a Premier League player. So we need to see that. So just from looking back at past years where they haven't done it in the Prem makes me think, yeah, they're going to need a bit more in defence, and other players that have been here before need to step up where they didn't before. So that's what I would base it around.
Yeah, Alex, we're recording this pretty much at the end of July. I think they're linked with Leno for about 8 to 10 million, which I think will be a pretty good signing for
That'd be a
them.
good signing.
Yeah, but I think they still need to make, like I said, a few more defensive ones to stay up. I'll speak about everything because sort of my decision put them there. I don't think Lampard's going to be that guy to sort of get them out of that position that they're currently in. When when the club's protesting in preseason, there's a big issue there because I can't recall anyone else doing that. But 4-0 defeat, I think, to Minnesota United. They've sold Richarlison. Obviously, he was the talisman last year with Cavalier out for much of it. Haven't really replaced him at all. I don't think the players just in my opinion, that they got right now are enough to stay up. I think I saw reports that they're already willing to sell Dele Alli, even though they only signed him in January. That hasn't really worked out the way probably hoped. And like I said, I don't think Lampard's proven enough to show that he's got the capabilities to get them out of that battle and keep them up. And like when we discussed this, we said it's a weird one putting them there just because we're so used to seeing them in the Prem. They haven't really been that low before, but as of now, like I said, they haven't made the signings or replacements probably needed to keep them up. So that's why we've gone Everton, Bournemouth, Fulham, bottom three. Then Ty, I'll come to you for Leeds. Obviously stayed up last season. It was a close one. Going to this season now, they've made quite a few signings. Tyler Adams from Leipzig, Sinisterra from Feyenoord, Brendan Aronson, Salzburg, Mark Roker from Bayern. Do you think these players, they're enough to keep Leeds up?
From what I've seen from like the Sinisterra guy, he looks like a good little player. I think he's basically Rafinha's replacement, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's a pretty good player. But I think they've done enough business to keep him out of a relegation battle. So I think they'll be fine on that. I think it would just be but I think they'll obviously just hover above it. And I don't think they'll be good enough to break into like that. So like mid-table, so like them 10th to 14th places. So I don't think they've done enough there. But yeah, I think, like I said, they've done enough to stay up, basically. Whereas I think they'll have a better season than they did last year. But they'll finish 15th or something.
Tom, do you reckon Jesse Marsh will still be manager at the end of the season, or do you think somewhere in between they might replace him?
See, that's the thing. I'm not too sure. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw him sacked, but then only because he's a young manager. We didn't really see much of him. He did get on a bit of a good run, but when you lose two of your best players, and they really were their best players, it puts a lot of pressure on replacing them. So he's going to need probably a good start, I can't lie, because then if he doesn't get it, the Leeds fans probably put pressure on the club because they were very close of getting relegated last year and they don't want to be in that position again. So there's a lot of pressure on him. I just think because he's new to the game, especially to the Prem, it's up in the air. So you just don't know what to expect. But I saw some good things from him, but I wouldn't be shocked if he did.
Yeah. Then we got so Leeds 17, Southampton 16 for them and Brentford, could stop around, but I think Southampton we just discussed, they signed a lot of young talents. They'll probably stay up, whether again that's with Hospital or not is a different question, but we think they'll stay up, and then I probably back them to push on in the following season, and then I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of big clubs came in for their players just because of I think they've recruited really well in terms of those young players. So I think that's why I just got them staying up. Brentford is just one of those clubs where that all right season probably will stay up again because they are better than the clubs below them. And then Tom, I'll stay with you with this one. Nottingham Forest, first season back in quite a while. Got a lot of history. Obviously, two-time Champions League winners as well. Why do you think they'll stay up compared to, say, Fulham and Bournemouth, the other two promoted sides?
Well, like you said, they got quite a big following. They're quite a big club. Not many people know about that just because it's been such a long time since they've been in the top flight division. So, like we said before, like when Huddersfield came back for a long time, Leeds came back for a long time, Wolves, Sheffield United, their first season, their fans were really up for it and it really pushed them on. But not only that, I really like the business they've done. They've signed Dean Henderson, brilliant goalkeeper, Jesse Lingard. They signed a couple of they signed a centre back. They got in a team this season in the Bundesliga. Was that Nia Karte or something like that? And they also signed that Awomni or something like that. He's a striker who bagged like 15 goals in the Bundesliga for for a decent side in the Bundesliga, that Union Berlin. So they're making some good signings. The Lingard one, that's the one I thought, okay, that's the one that's going to get a lot of creativity. That was a good one. There's still time to go, so there could be more. And I just think with the fans coming back and the good signings, I think, and they play some good football as well. They got a really highly rated manager that I really liked, that I thought was very unlucky to not get promoted with Swansea. And I thought was very unlucky for a team like, I don't know, Everton. Honestly, if I was an Everton fan or someone like that, I'd have been calling for him. Even when Newcastle was looking for a manager, I know Eddie Howe's doing well, but he was in the running, I'm pretty sure, but I'd be wanting him. He's a very good manager, and he's a manager that should be in the Prem. He's very good. So I think with all of them put together, I think they'll have a very decent season.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. That Lingard signing sort of came out of the blue a little bit when I think most people expected West Ham to probably go in for him, but great signing for Forest. Wolves, I should place there in 12 because there's not enough business going on in the club. I think the fans feel like that. I think there's some problem with the ownership in terms of can they actually supply the money, but I think their squad's still good enough to avoid that relegation scrap. Crystal Palace, I think had a decent season last year. We didn't really know how things were going to go under Vieira, but he proved that he can get the squad playing some good football. They've signed Sam Johnston from West Brom. Gets called up to England quite regularly. Players like Eze is going to be that 1 year better. A lot of the defenders as well, like Mark Gay, he's going to be that 1 year better as well. What do you think's missing for them just to push on to that top half of the table?
I think maybe a striker, because I don't think they've got like that many. I know they've got Edouard and like Benteke, but I don't think they're good enough to take them up to that next level and try and get them to challenge for European places. But yeah, like you said, like players like Kirby, Eze, obviously because he missed like a bit of last season because obviously when he got that injury the season before. So I think he'll be like more like fresh this season and ready to go so that he can prove a point. And then obviously I rate Vieira as a manager as well. I think he's done a really good job so far. Like last year, I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. I didn't think he's going to do that well, but then obviously proved that he can do it. Obviously with results against, like, I know it was under Nuno, but Spurs in the early part of the season, obviously he beat Arsenal as well. So he's shown that he can get it done. It's just, yeah, I think they just lack that striker that can take them to the like European places or challenge for it at least.
Yeah, well, just for European places, quite 8th to 10th.
Yeah.
3 clubs who probably could push for it, but maybe just don't quite have it. But start with Newcastle. Tom, I'll come back to you. They've obviously got that massive injection of cash.
Yeah.
They used it quite well in January. Got them well away from that relegation battle. Is there that season where they just keep on, just almost progressing as a squad rather than putting everything in it and trying to almost just, much like when City did it, they signed those players like Robinho almost too quickly. Do you think they're doing the right thing, just almost slowing it down and just building?
Yeah, I do. I think they're really doing it tactically. Then I think everyone was expecting, just throw loads and loads out, but they're really not. They're being realistic with their situation. They're going from, being a relegation challenging team, getting out of that. Okay, now we're going to be a team that is going to try and push into the top 10, which I think they will get into that. And then they'll start to really push on and then get the signings that will start to get them into Europe. And then it'll be push into the Champions League. Because I think people thinking within 3 years they're going to win it. It don't work like that. Maybe 8-10 seasons into the project, maybe. But I like the signings. They're not doing so. They're still believing in some of the players there. Like they've got Joe Linton. What a changing career he's had. Like switch positions. He is a machine. He's an absolute machine. That Bruno Guimaraes from last year, really good. It's going to be good to see him this season. And I like the signings they've made this year. They're not done yet. They've got Matt Target permanently, decent, solid fullback. But Nick Pope, I like, solid goalkeeper. And they signed Sven Botman, a young up-and-coming centre-back, wanted by a load of European teams, and he's gone to Newcastle. I think that's good. I don't think we've seen... I reckon we could probably see another 2 come in for Newcastle minimum, I'd say. I'm not certain on that, but I wouldn't be surprised but they're taking their time, which I like. You don't always have to rush it. So, yeah, I think they've got a good squad going, and Eddie Howe has been a fantastic coach to bring in because he plays such good attacking football. And if you want to be pushing, like these European competitions, you want to try and get some really attacking football because that seems to be the best formula to go with, pressing football, and he's got them working hard. So yeah, there seems to be a positive atmosphere at Newcastle, which they haven't had in years. So I think they will get into the top 10.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Botman signing, Nick Pope in particular as well, probably one that a lot of people said from relegated sides, probably one of the players that you would want to sign for your own club just because he is a very good shot stopper. Then I've got Aston Villa in 9th there as well. They've got Coutinho permanently now. They've got Boubacar Kamara, Diego Carlos. They've improved their squad quite a bit. Obviously, they had a mixed season last year. Some good results, some not so good results. Almost did see in the last day, but couldn't quite get it done. Do you think Gerrard, is he taking this squad in the right direction?
Yes, but I don't think he's a good enough manager to take him up a level. I'm not a big fan of him as a manager. I know he done well with Rangers, but I don't rate him that highly. What was I going to say? Yeah, they remind me of Leicester a few years ago when they were pushing for top 4, but I think Leicester they just had better players, obviously like Tielemans and players like that. But I think they're definitely challenge for top 8 or top 7, but I just don't think they're good enough to obviously finish above teams like West Ham, who are in my opinion, obviously going to finish 7th. But I think they'll have a good year. They've had a very good window, like you said, with Coutinho permanently, Diego Carlos and Kamara for free. That's a good deal. He was one of the DMs that I wanted Chelsea to look at. I do rate him quite highly. But yeah, I think they'll have a good season for like Aston Villa standards. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got that Leicester West Ham sort of duo there. We've gone West Ham above Leicester. Leicester, still not quite getting enough deals done. Obviously, could lose Tielemans, haven't got any. Could lose Tielemans, could lose Maddison still. But then you got West Ham, they've got Ariella permanently. It seems like the Skamaka deal is all but confirmed by the club itself. And they're going for Kostic. Yeah, Kostic as well. Another pretty good signing, a Europa League winner last season. But I think they got that Conference League as well, which is a good route for them to get Europa League as well as a European trophy. And I think because they came so close to Europa League last season, they would still want to win that Conference League. And it just gives them another way into that Europa League, which I think they'll take rather than maybe battle against the other conventional top 6 sides, which we'll go into now. Man United. It's a weird one. I'll come to you on this one. It's obviously Ten Hag's in now, so we're not expecting the same side that was almost closer to West Ham than the top 4 last season. But it seems like Rashford, Martial, and Sancho working well together so far in pre-season, but it's the same frailties at the back. De Gea just doing De Gea things out of nowhere. Maguire still not being trusted too much by both fans, and I think a bit by the manager as well. Fred and McTominay is still in there. Then we also got the Ronaldo factor. It doesn't look like he wants to stay at all, but obviously it doesn't seem like any clubs want him either, so he might have to. But do you think it's that defensive, frailties that might just cost him throughout the season?
Yeah, I think because obviously they've been playing at normal times. I think I've actually watched them the most of anyone. I've liked the football they've played. A few of their goals this pre-season, you can see that Ten Hag's already improved them. He's already got him playing the way he wants to play. I think obviously they still lack that DM, which is obviously what Jack's been moaning about for years. And so yeah, they still lack that DM, and I'm surprised they haven't actually got one yet. But yeah, like you said, I think there's still the problems at the back, but the front 3, Sancho, Martial, Rashford, it's very good, very fluid. Martial, I think a lot of people thought it was over for him, but then it looks like Ten Hag rates him and wants him to play up front for them this season. So that would be good. But yeah, I think defensively they're still quite poor. They've signed that left back, Malacia, whatever his name is. They signed him. I think right back's still a bit of a problem for them because obviously Wan-Bissaka is not good enough on the ball, and obviously how Ten Hag likes to play. And then Dalot, he's just not good enough either. So I think right back and then DM, I think that's the main issues for United, which is why I think they'll just miss out on top 4 this year. But I think they'll definitely get top 6.
Yeah, I think Lisandro Martinez, good signing in my opinion, very good player.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see if he plays centre back or CDM because he's very comfortable on the ball, very calm on it, can play at the back very easily. Obviously, a lot of people are making the hype jokes about him, which it's very funny, but I do think he'll be fine in terms of aerial battles. But yeah, I just think they got to get a new keeper in. I think even if they get, because they've done Martinez, another midfielder probably is needed because you'd prefer to play Fred and McTominay in Europa League compared to someone else, say, for example, whoever's they got available to them. And then, we got that Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal little triangle for all 3 going for 2 top 4 spots. We'll start with Arsenal because we put them 5th here. And I think mainly, Chelsea still will do better than them in terms of the season. But I think just because we've got the Europa League route available to us in the top 4, whereas Spurs and Chelsea are in Champions League, I think for that reason, we would be willing to just accept 5th, try to go all in for that. And I think we've got the squad to win it now as well. And, I think we obviously came close last season, but, Saka's a year better. Smith Rowe's the year more experienced. Gabriel, Ben White together. Saliba seems he's pretty good in pre-season so far from what I've seen, seemed very comfortable. The left back, Zinchenko, we've got Zinchenko now, which is, I think very much needed because Nuno Tavares was not a good player for us last
season.
season.
And Tierney can't keep fit.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big issue for Tierney because when him and Partey got injured at the same time that we lost 3 in a row, and then we just didn't have the quality to really get back into it. Then Jesus, unbelievable signing for us for under 50 mil. We've been bagging already. I think we have an easier start than most teams to the league, so I think that's just a good opportunity for him to really get up and running in the league as well. But players like I said, Martinelli will be that 1 year experienced, and I think we probably are 1 or 2 signings off almost like a proper top 4 team. Probably a midfielder and Tielemans. I don't know why I haven't signed him yet, but out of a Tielemans, probably a winger. I think we've been in talks with Bowen, I think, but I think we'll get a couple more deals done before the window. But like I said, I think that Europa League route would just mean that we'd be willing to miss out just getting it directly through top 4. I'll come to you for Chelsea now. It hasn't been the greatest preseason. Just got back to Arsenal 4-0. Tuchel's come out, sort of had a go at his board saying, it's the same players. Why would you not expect the same results almost? If you can sign 2 players tomorrow or today, who would you sign just to improve that squad?
God, only 2. Probably Koundé, so we need another centre back, and then I'll take someone in attack, like Rafael Leao or someone like that. But Chelsea pre-season awful. I haven't actually watched the games because they've just been on at ridiculous times. But from what I've seen, apparently, the attack's still awful. Timo Werner apparently he wants to leave, so apparently he hasn't even been trying. And then that was the one thing that he actually done well. He used to run a lot, so apparently he's not even doing that anymore. So I don't know why he's playing. And then Tuchel keeps giving minutes to players that aren't going to be here during the season, like Batshuayi and Barkley. So rather than players obviously Broja got sent back to England because apparently he wanted to go to West Ham, but why not give him a chance? We've got no striker anyway, so just give him a chance. But yeah, it's not good enough so far. I personally, as of right now, don't think we're going to get top 4. I think we're going to finish 5th, and I think Arsenal are going to get 4th, and Spurs will get 3rd. But obviously, the 2 signings we've made are good. I'm happy with those, but we need more. We still need cover at wing back. We still need 1 more centre back, and then obviously we still need an attacker or 2 as well. But then obviously that needs 2 or 3 to go. So it's not going to be a fun season in my opinion. And the way Tuchel's talking is it's kind of how it's been with his previous boards, where if you don't back me, I'm just going to walk. And personally, I don't blame him. So.
Yeah, it was that sort of fullback injuries last season which really killed your title hopes at the start. And then it was always too late for them to sort of bring it back. But I think, like you said, your signings have been good. Raheem Sterling, I think, great signing from you guys. He will get you a load of goals this season. And I think if Chilwell and Reece James stay fit, I don't see why you couldn't get top 4. But like I said, you probably do need 1 or 2 more signings, especially in that centre back area, because obviously just because of the amount of players you lost, and then Aspi and Thiago Silva Aspi's finished anyway, but Thiago Silva will probably play even less minutes than last season.
And Aspi might be leaving anyway. Aspi might be going to Barca, so it's another one.
Yeah. Tom, Spurs, obviously great end to last season. Conte's had a great impact for you guys. Richarlison's in, Basuma's in for an unreal price for you guys. Got Spence at right wing back now. In my opinion, a big improvement from Emerson.
Yeah.
Do you think that 3rd position is almost comfortable for you guys, whereas Arsenal and Chelsea are still maybe a step or 2 behind?
I wouldn't necessarily say 3rd definitely comfortable. I think we will comfortably get top 4. 3rd, I'm not sure, because there's something about Arsenal. You just never know with Chelsea because they're not going to be finished yet. So we have to see what happens to them. But there's something about Arsenal that is worrying me. I really like that Gabriel Jesus signing, a lot. I think a lot of people are respecting it. I don't know if I'm overhyping it because like Jack keeps saying to me, you're taking it too far now. Jack seems to think, I'm pretty sure he said like 15 goals, where I'm like, nah, I could honestly see him getting 20 plus when he
fair,
like,
even if it's 15, that's more than Lacazette was getting.
Yeah,
so
yeah, of course.
It's still an improvement.
He normally gets around 13, 14 with City, and he's in and out all the time. Sometimes he plays on the left. And where he's like at Arsenal, he's like, obviously I don't want to speak too much about Arsenal because we just did, but where he's like just down the middle, he's going to be the main guy. He's going to be staying there the whole time, down the middle. I think I can honestly see him getting 20 plus goals. We'll have to see. But I love the way Conte and Paratici have changed our whole mentality of our like Daniel Levy's always been the guy to like leave it late, try and get good deals, and he's still done good deals, but not left it late. And Conte was, I remember seeing like a source saying Conte wants his signings by the time of our pre-season tour, and I think we got all of them done basically, except from Spence, and Longley was a little bit later. But 6 signings in with before the season starting, I reckon we'll get at least 1 more in. There will be another signing. They say it could be 2 more, but I think it'll be 1 more. It will either be a creative midfielder or a centre back, in my opinion. I do like the business he's done. I like the Fraser Forster, get an English guy in for backup, saves yourself on the squad registration. Longley, I like it and I don't, just because I have my heart set on Bastoni, I can't lie, but he's literally untouchable. He's literally untouchable. So I think because we've done a year loan for Longley, I think we're going to go hard for him or Gavardiol next year. That's what I think personally. But look, Longley was very highly rated, but it didn't really work out at Barca. But I remember before he went to Barca, everyone was raving about him. I know he's good on the ball. I think he's meant to be a bit slow, so we'll see how he does in the Prem. But with 5 at the back, he should be all right. I love the Perisic signing. Experience, that's something we've never done. Like, we'd never, just because he's 33, we won't go for him. But he's got the quality. He's a fantastic player. He's been there, won a lot of things. He's still got a quality. He's a good pro. Basuma's got to be my favourite signing of the season for me. I was saying everyone. I couldn't believe. I know that he had that court case, which is done now, so I don't need to worry about that. I know he had that court case, which bothered teams, I think, but for 25 million, I think that's an absolute steal. I think he's one of the best centre mids in the league. I think he's really good, so I'm looking forward to him. Richarlison, I'm happy about. I know it's quite pricey, but I think he suits what Conte wants in a player. Works hard, physical. Got that nasty thing about him, like aggressive, and I like that. You don't, obviously, I didn't like Richarlison. He reminds me of like Grealish, Bruno, and Richarlison. When they play for other teams, you hate them, but when they play for your team, you love it. And I think that I quite like that. So I think it's been a good start. There's still a lot of shit we need to get out though. So I'm not one of them people that are like, oh, we could press City or Liverpool. I don't think so. Hopefully we can get a trophy, maybe in one of the cups. But I'd like being in the hopefully if we get Champions League knockouts and top 4, I would still take that, but I would like a trophy. But look, good business done. Still more to come. I would like Maddison in personally, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
training's been ridiculous. Like I've seen some of the some of the videos of like players just dropping to the floor and stuff.
Yeah, that was the first training session, the first big one.
Serious stuff.
Yeah, like I said, good timings. I think Longley is the only one I'm a bit sort of skeptical about, just because it's slow, but it's when he plays Barca, like he just loses concentration out of nowhere and then just lets someone in behind. But I mean, like I said, back to really putting up the biggest issue there. And obviously, you've got Liverpool second, and then City to win it again. Ty Haaland took him about 12 minutes to get on the score sheet, I think, the other night.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we never know with Pep who he's going to play striker. It could be Haaland, could be Alvarez, could be Foden, De Bruyne, who knows? But, do you think that Haaland over Nunes is just going to be enough for them again?
Like I saw, obviously people were talking about like Haaland. Oh, he hasn't got a great first touch and all that. But then just put the ball into the box and he's going to score. So it's like with Nunes, like we've already seen that the guy, he's a bit of a donkey. He misses quite.
He's 4 goals the other night though.
Yeah, but then I also saw something about Sonogo scoring 4 goals as well. So
Listen,
it's like
let's not talk about Sonogo.
You know what I mean?
Because...
it doesn't mean anything. It's only pre-season, so
yeah,
pre-season doesn't matter.
Well, when you lose 4-0, it doesn't matter a little bit. Let's not forget that. But Tom, obviously, like I said, they've got Haaland, brought Alvarez as well. Good, very good young talent from Argentina. Back loads of goals for them, getting into their national team as well. Obviously, I think for me personally, I think Grealish is going to have a lot better season than he did last season in terms of stats. I think he was good, but obviously the stats currently back it up. I think this season that will come. Mara's new deal as well. If you're Liverpool, you've got a month left in the window. What do you think Klopp needs to do just to maybe get a few steps closer to City?
Well, in every position, he'll be fine. According to Klopp, so
they need. Oh, that's so tough because you look at Liverpool; they're still really good, but they probably, you know what? I'd say they need a big name like Haaland, but maybe for the midfield, like a creative midfielder, maybe. I'm not sure who, but they need a big name. But look, I don't think City will run away with it personally. Yeah. I think people are expecting that, but I honestly think people are talking about Haaland this year. I honestly think we're going to be talking about Luis Diaz a lot next season. I really do. I don't think they're going to miss Mane too much. It's just that the middle, I'm unsure with Nunes yet because I haven't seen much of him. 100 million is a lot of money. So look, we'll have to see. But I think if we're talking about who's going to stand out for Liverpool next season, other than Salah and Van Dijk, I really think they won't be missing Mane that much on that side because of Diaz. And let's not forget Jota. He was setting the Premier League alight last year when he was playing for. I think he got injured. He was playing a lot last year, first half season, and he was so good. So they had, if Nunes don't go well, they've always got that option. I'm pretty sure he's still got Firmino, right?
Yeah.
So he's been there. They've done it with Firmino before. So look, I don't think they will be better than City, but people are expecting City to run away with it. I don't think they will, because I think Liverpool are still going to be so strong. But look, we'll see. But if you're asking me what can they do, I'd say they need like a big name signing, maybe for the midfield, like a creative midfielder, maybe. But who knows?
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously got Fabio Carvalho, but he's not ready for that step yet. I think he'll have a good impact maybe in a few cup games, maybe off the bench, but he's not that level of quality yet. That will come. I feel like when I think of Liverpool, I think Bellingham's just the player I think of for them to sign and really get there, but I don't think he wants to leave Dortmund yet. But yeah, I mean, we've got City first, Liverpool second. Like you said, Tom, I don't think it'll be a runaway one for City. I think it will be close, come down to the last few games again. But yeah, that is our 2022-23 league predictions. Like you said, there's still a month of transfer window left, so things could change. Yeah, but obviously league starts next week of the time of filming. It'll be up. This will be out a few days before. But yeah, thank you, Tom, Ty, for joining me. That's all for now. Have a nice. Yep, very good. All right.